Hi, welcome to Take 5, where we daily consider devotional thoughts from Oswald Chambers' book, My Utmost for His Highest. Today is April 30th, and the title of today's devotional is Spontaneous Love. Love suffers long and is kind, 1 Corinthians 13 and verse 4. 1 Corinthians 13 is often called the love chapter of the Bible. Reflecting on the overall nature of love, Chambers says, love is not premeditated, it is spontaneous. That is, it bursts forth in extraordinary ways. You cannot make yourself love someone or make someone love you. The idea of having compulsion behind the act of love gives evidence that it is not genuine. Dr. C tells us there is nothing of precise certainty in Paul's description of love. We cannot predetermine our thoughts and actions by saying, now I will never think any evil thoughts, and I will believe everything that Jesus would have me to believe. No, the characteristic of love is spontaneity. In Romans 12, Paul teaches us that we are to no longer be conformed to the ways of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of our mind. Renew, meaning made new. Actually, our mind is to go back to the beginning, before sin, and be a mind of holiness and righteousness. But the conformity to the likeness of Christ is not robotic in thinking. It's a mind that is directed by the filling of His Spirit. Listen to Chambers' explanation. We don't deliberately set the statements of Jesus before us as our standard, but when His Spirit is having His way with us, we live according to His standard without even realizing it. And when we look back, we are amazed at how unconcerned we have been over our emotions, which is the very evidence that real spontaneous love was there. The nature of everything involved in the life of God in us is only discerned when we have been through it and it is in our past. As we give ourselves fully and completely over to the Lordship of Christ, His Spirit takes over our emotions, interests, and desires in a very natural way. Our nature is replaced by His. Chambers enlightens us that the fountains from which God's love flows in us are the fountains from which love flows are in God, not in us. It is absurd to think that the love of God is naturally in our hearts as a result of our own nature. His love is only there because it has been poured out in our hearts by the Holy Spirit. There is a worldly love that is not God's. His love surpasses all understanding. Worldly love will love those who love them back. God's love will love those who don't love Him. But God demonstrates His own love toward us in that yet while we were sinners, Christ died for us, Romans 5 and verse 8. If we try to prove to God how much we love Him, it is a sure sign that we really don't love Him. The evidence of our love for Him is the absolute spontaneity of our love, which flows naturally from His nature within us. And when we look back, we will not be able to determine why we did certain things, but we can know that we did them according to the spontaneous nature of His love in us. The life of God exhibits itself in this spontaneous way because the fountains of His love are in the Holy Spirit. If you haven't yet read today's devotional from Oswald Chambers' book, I encourage you to do so, for it will enhance the time that we spend together. It's available free online. Also, if you have any questions or comments over today's study, please share those below, and also prayer requests as well. And now may God's grace and peace be ours as we seek to live our utmost for His highest. Thanks for being here today. God bless you. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day. Bye now.